Buff Nation, what's going on? We had another quarterback come in this past weekend in addition to Jaden O'Neal. That is 2026 quarterback Semaj Beals. We're going to turn on his tape here in a minute so you guys can see what all he brings to the table. Real nice athlete at the quarterback position with a nice arm, I would say. So we're going to dive into that. Y'all be sure to let me know your thoughts on him in the comments. Smash that like and subscribe. We're on our way to 8,000 subscribers. My goodness. And let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So, Semaj Beals, class of 2026. So that means he's going into his junior year of high school, still has 2 years left. And right now, guys, he's already 6'2, 175 pounds. Lovely, lovely. Absolutely love that. And offered by a ton of schools. I believe Nebraska has offered him. Schools like Alabama, they've offered him as well. 24/7 hasn't ranked him yet, so he's unranked right now. But On3 has him as a 3-star. Seems to me like a guy that has high ceiling, but needs to kind of fine tune some of the nuances of his game a little bit more, and that could kind of get him part of that conversation with some of those highly rated guys within his class, but very well could continue to grow his way up the national rankings as the dude's only like 15, 16 years old, right? So let's go ahead and get started. You'll see him. He's been a part-time starter right now, I would assume, because he only played in 6 games this year, played in 4 games last year, unless he was dealing with some injury. So just know that, hey, his stats, think he threw for a little over 1,100 yards this past year, like a 60% completion percentage. Yeah, but not a ton of varsity games played yet either, which could contribute to his lower ranking. Now here, you could see with this first play, I mean, just massive arm strength. Steps into that throw real strong and just puts it on a line. Okay, so one thing I've noticed is that obviously very strong arm talent. You'll see some inconsistencies with how often he has good footwork and all of that. Here he's got the ability. He doesn't really step into it, kind of steps more to the side and kind of strong arms this one, but you can see still puts it on a line. And working on that consistency will probably just be something like pretty much all quarterbacks they have to work on throughout high school. But you can see the arm strength is definitely there. The ball placement, you'll see throughout this highlight tape, he really did throw a handful of guys open here. On this play, you'll see him facing some cover 3, and he throws this wide receiver over here open in cover 3, splits the coverage. So impressive arm strength. I think this past year, if I remember correctly, 13 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions. So while he doesn't have the highest completion percentage, took care of the ball, which is wonderful. I mean, look at this. This little post, steps into the throw, steps up in the pocket. Goodness, just throws the dude open. That's what you don't want to see as a defensive coordinator, when he's still beating you over the top when you're playing cover 3. So again, I can see why a lot of schools are definitely interested in this guy. And he does show the ability to take some off the ball, throw some different types of passes, not always throwing heaters, can layer the ball in, which is nice. And look at the ball placement here. Again, when he's able to set his feet, I mean, perfect placement over the back shoulder right there. Just perfect. That's not a touchdown if it's not a perfect throw. Wonderful. See him working off the play action here, keeping his eyes downfield, understanding the linebackers are biting. This tight end's going to come open over the middle. And again, when you got that strong arm, you don't always have to step into the throw. There he was getting hit, so he couldn't step into it, and threw that with great velocity and accuracy, touchdown. And then look when he steps into this one right here. Boom. Thrown nice. Tad behind, but gets there in with plenty of velocity. Touchdown. Here again shows great decisiveness. Getting the ball out quickly. And then this was another beautiful throw. Look, when he keeps that base wide and he steps into it, really strong throw. Again, opposite hash guys. He's throwing it to the far side of the field. Look at that. Only where his guy can get it. Now, again, I do think he's got to work on his release a little bit. Quarterback coaches will always probably want to see that improved in terms of quickness a little bit. Sometimes with these taller guys, they can have some elongated motions that they've got to work on cleaning up, making it more efficient. But overall, I feel like he's got a lot of the right things in place in terms of he's shown that when he steps into it, when he's decisive, you can throw the ball quick. That he's a real effective quarterback. I mean, look how he steps up in the pocket here. Look how strong that drop back was. Bam. Then steps up, throws that guy open. Beautiful. Yeah, here you saw a little bit of like a hop step with his footwork. So he just kind of hops into it, but still throws a nice ball for his wide receiver to catch like 30 yards down the field. So it just goes to show just the natural arm strength that he has, arm talent, even when he doesn't have the cleanest footwork. And he also has the ability to run a little bit. He'll show those highlights there at the end. Nice little pump fake. There was a great ball right there. Doesn't, or he rather leads that receiver to where he doesn't need to stop his momentum to catch it. Then look, hitting his check down or the flat right there. Here he identifies this blitzer coming off the edge pretty quickly. Still keeping his eyes downfield. That's one of the best qualities. Hitting his check down, that wide receiver, leading him open. Touchdown, baby. And look at this, decisive. Understands what type of coverage he's getting right off the bat. Look, they got nobody on him. It's probably going to be some sort of zone. Nobody moves over to defend him on this RPO. Real nice. Nice little play there by the tight end or wide receiver. I think this is a scramble right here. Nope. Throw. Nice ball placement over the defender. Another great job of getting the ball out quickly. Now you can see some of his running ability. Shifty guy right there. And a guy that's not afraid to take some contact, as you can see here, falling forward for the touchdown. Here's another example of him seeking contact at the goal line, getting the touchdown. Love to see that sort of toughness. And then look at this one. This is a fun one, okay? Understands? Pockets collapsing a little bit. 91's coming after me, but look at him. Stiff arm. Evades that tackle. Boom. Another stiff arm. Evades that tackle. And another 25 yards down the field. Beautiful. Stepping up as he's getting hit, guys. And delivers just a beautiful ball. Wow. Just a beautiful pass. And look at that. Moving his feet in the pocket a little bit, then setting them again. Stepping into that throw. Oh, just fires another rocket. Again, far hash, guys. So, again, like the biggest thing that I'm taking from this, and we can go ahead and look at his like recruiting profile too and his stats before I dive into that. Just biggest takeaways is that he does, I think, a pretty good job of navigating the pocket when he steps into his throws, just on a laser, but has natural arm strength that even when there isn't a perfect pocket, he has the ability to still throw a strong ball, even if there's some traffic around, and just has to clean up some of his consistencies with his footwork and release, stuff like that. But overall, like a very talented guy. You can see the potential there, and makes sense why we'll go through his offers here in just a minute, why he is being highly sought after, and why it's a thrill to have him alongside Jaden O'Neal, class of 2026. Both of those guys here last week. Great stuff. But yeah, let's dive into his stats. Sophomore year, let's see. Oh, I misspoke. He's got a career completion percentage of 59.5, was at 54.8 on the year this past year. Threw for 1,155 yards on 115 attempts. And again, 13 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. So again, we've only seen him play. Okay, I had this backwards. 10 games total. He started four games this past year, 6 his freshman year. But you can see his efficiencies are great in the limited playing time that he's gotten. 24 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, quarterback rating of 117.3. That's wonderful. And I guess they include the sack yardage with the rushing yards. So who knows? Who knows how good he's been on the ground? But as you can see, he's a good athlete. We saw in the highlights. Right now on the On3 page, I don't normally do On3, but they had him rated as an 85.26 right now. Penn State has offered him, and that's kind of the favorite right now. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, so that makes sense, staying in state. Rutgers, Syracuse in the mix, along with a handful of other schools. We can see the complete list right here. Alabama, Boston College, Colorado, Duke, USC, Nebraska, Maryland, Indiana, Illinois, a lot of schools, Florida A&M. So maybe this was somebody that Riss had offered previously as well. So might already have a relationship with him, which is cool to see. Now, if you're curious, who else have the Buffs offered in this class of 2026? We can see we've offered a handful of guys so far. Caden Johnson, as you see, Semaj Beals is right here. Legend Bay out of Mesquite, Texas. Interesting. And then some different. Jared Curtis, for some reason, he has 2 profiles on here, but Georgia's just getting 1 quarterback, not 2. And we've offered a total of 16 guys. You see Jaden O'Neal already has that 4-star rating, 6'3", 200 pounds. And Semaj Beals has that prototypical quarterback size as well, being 6'2". We'll need to add on some weight, which I'm sure he will. But overall, it's going to be interesting to see like what happens with this 2026 class. I don't think we have any commits right now, but if you guys are curious, we do have 3 commits right now. Alex Graham, cornerback safety out of IMG. Mantrez Walker, if you're not following him on Twitter, go do it. Linebacker out of Buford, Georgia. And then Corbin Lejour, tight end out of Bluff City, Tennessee. So we'll see who else is added to this class over the summer. Right now, we're overall 69. Nice, great start to the season, and I think we're going to add more people this summer. That's what Corey Phillips, all these guys are talking about, right? So it's going to be fun to see. Y'all let me know your thoughts on Semaj Beals in the comments, and I'll link in the description. If you haven't seen my Jaden O'Neal video, I'll link that in the comments and description as well. So appreciate you guys as always. I will be back with more Buffs news. Smash that like and subscribe on the way out. And as always, y'all, go Buffs.